Hello everyone, in this video, let's learn how to solve this challenging integral from the MIT Integration Bee 2025. Alright, the integral from 0 to 1 of square root of s times 1 minus s ds. Alright, so I'm going to put this one on the side, s times 1 minus s. Alright, now I'm going to distribute this one, it turns out to be s minus s squared, right? So I can factor negative side out, so it turns out to be negative of s squared minus s. Now I'm going to make this one as a complete square by adding and subtracting 1/4, right? So it turns out to be negative of s squared minus s plus 1/4 minus 1/4, right? Now the first three terms right here becomes a complete square, so it turns out to be negative of s minus 1/2 altogether square. Now I'm going to distribute negative 1 over here, so it turns out to be plus 1/4. This guy is the same thing as 1/4 minus s minus 1/2 altogether square, right? Now I'm going to bring this guy back to the original integral, so it turns out to be the integral from 0 to 1 square root of 1/4 minus of s minus 1/2 altogether square ds, right? Now if you have the antiderivative of a squared minus u squared du, then you're going to use strict substitution, which means you're going to let u equals a sine theta, right? So I'm going to apply this method into this integral right here. In this situation, u, which means s minus 1/2, right? A, which means 1/2, right? So I'm gonna let s minus 1/2 equals 1/2 sine theta, right? Then ds equals 1/2 cosine theta, right? Now I need to change the upper limit and lower limit, right? Now s equals 0. Substitute 0 for s into this equation. So you have negative 1/2 equals 1/2 sine theta, right? Now divide both sides by 1/2, so sine theta equals negative 1, right? Then theta equals negative pi/2, right? Now when s equals 1, then you substitute 1 for s into this one, so it turns out to be 1/2 equals 1/2 sine theta, right? It's the same thing as sine theta equals 1, right? Or theta equals pi/2, right? This integral becomes the integral from negative pi/2 to pi/2 square root of 1/4 minus 1/2 sine theta altogether square. Now ds becomes this guy right here, right? So it could be 1/2 cosine theta d theta. I forgot d theta here. 1/2 square is going to be 1/4, right? So I put this one as 1/4 and this one square, right? So I remove square root right here. Now I factor 1/4 out, and then I'm going to bring it outside the square root. It turns out to be 1/2, right? 1/2 right here and 1/2 right here becomes 1/4, right? So I put 1/4 in the front. The integral from negative pi/2 to pi/2 square root of 1 minus sine square theta, right? Times cosine theta d theta, right? Now, this guy is the same thing as 1 over 4, the integral form negative pi over 2 pi over 2. 1 minus sine square theta equals cosine square theta, right? Now I need to print this one outside the square root, so it turns out to be absolute value of cosine theta times cosine theta d theta. Now on the unit circle, the x-axis represents the cosine function, right? The y-axis represents the sine function, right? Now look at the interval form negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, which means it's going to be from here to here, right? Which is the first quadrant and the fourth quadrant, right? Within this quadrant, cosine is positive, right? It's going to be right here, right? So then when I remove the absolute value sine right here, I don't need to change the sign of cosine theta, right? So this guy becomes 1 over 4, the integral form negative pi over 2 to pi over 2 cosine square theta d theta, right? Now we have the formula cosine square theta is going to be 1 plus cosine 2 theta over 2, right? So this guy becomes the integral form negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. Now you have 1 half right here. I bring it to the front. It's going to be 1 over 8, right? And I have 1 plus cosine 2 theta d theta, right? So this guy becomes 1 over 8. Now antiderivative of 1, which means theta, right? So I have theta right here. And antiderivative of cosine 2 theta is going to be plus 1 half sine 2 theta. Evaluated from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, right? Recall sine of as plus b ds. When you take antiderivative of this one, it's going to be negative 1 over a cosine of as plus b plus c, right? If you have antiderivative of cosine of as plus b ds, right? It turns out to be 1 over a sine of as plus b plus c. So keep that in mind. Alright, so I substitute pi over 2 for theta into this expression. So it's going to be 1 over 8 times pi over 2 plus 1 half sine of 2 times pi over 2, which means sine pi, right? And then I subtract this guy. It's going to be subtract negative pi over 2. Substitute over here. It's going to be negative pi over 2. And then when I subtract this one, it turns out to be plus pi over 2, right? Now, negative pi over 2, substitute over here. You have negative 1 half sine of negative pi, right? Pi over 2 plus pi over 2 is going to be pi, right? So I have 1 over 8 times pi, right? Now sine pi equals 0, right? This guy is 0. Now sine of negative pi is going to be negative sine of pi, right? And it's still 0, right? So the final answer must be pi over 8. If you have another way to solve this problem, please leave a comment, and it's your time to stop. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember that if you failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail.
We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young, and it's just begun. As she puts her hand